So guys, I have come to the conclusion that I don't know if Jesus is God and if Christianity is true. I am searching for truth, and I'm so confused. I don't know what to do. But I think I might have found peace elsewhere, outside of Jesus. And I think that this is a really late April Fool's joke. Oh my gosh, bro. Did I get you? See, I was gonna do this on April Fool's, but I was actually struggling with these thoughts, and I knew that that wasn't a good time to do it, but I still wanted to do it anyway. Oh, yeah. But no, this video is actually about why I am a Christian, and why I think I'm still gonna be taking a break, but I think I'm gonna go back to just my full-blown Christian content like I was before when I'm done with the break. And why I'm still a Christian. And and so I'm gonna be real with you. Towards the end of being 15 and at the beginning of being 16, I actually identified as an agnostic nihilist, which is essentially someone who has nihilistic tendencies, who doesn't know if anything has any meaning, but at the same time accepts that they don't know whether anything has any meaning or not. And just recently, why I've been taking this break and why I didn't want to make this joke video on April 1st was because I was actually having those thoughts again, and this time I was leaning more on the spiritual agnostic side, which it was like, I think there is something supernatural, but I don't think we can know what it is, and I'm open to the idea of nihilism being true, but I don't know. And I've gone through these phases many times, and the reason why I keep my faith is simply the Holy Spirit. I feel something beyond myself that I cannot disprove to myself. Sometimes I straight up think I'm going insane. Sometimes I straight up think it's a construct of my own consciousness. But we don't even understand what consciousness is. So, I'm going to get into some reasons why I have come to the conclusion that I need Jesus and Christianity's true. So, the main thing I struggle with is, at times, I'm a very logical and intellectual person. I love learning. I've learned so much about evolution, so much about naturalism, so much about the world, so much about different religions. So, I'm not an expert on different religions, but I've learned a lot of the good sides of other religions and philosophies and naturalistic beliefs like hedonism, humanism, other philosophies like nihilism and all that, existentialism, stoicism, which never really got too much into that. Just kind of felt numb. But I've gone through a lot of stuff, a lot of phases. At one point I wanted to be an anarchist. I've gone through a lot of phases, as every teenager does, but I genuinely believed I don't want to say I genuinely believe them, because I've been saved since I was 4, and I know for a fact that deep down I believe that Jesus was God, and that the Holy Spirit was still living inside of me and convicting me. But I was pretty deep in, man. Even recently. As a person who is really based on logic and intellectualism, I would always question creationism, question the Bible, but I always wondered, could a logical and intelligent person believe in God, believe in the Bible? Well, these are some things, I pulled up with AI. These are some things that, I looked into Google and answers and different very intelligent people who believed in Christianity, and this is AI. These are the 5 reasons and their validities, which I already, again, I use AI to enhance what I'm saying. I've honestly, like, whenever I prompt AI, I essentially give it what I'm already thinking, and I just want it to articulate it better, if that makes any sense. So this is essentially what I'm already thinking, just articulated better by the AI. So these are 5, and that's going to be all the AI that is used in this video. My thoughts, but articulated better. 5 reasons, and they're valid reasons, why an intellectual and logical person can believe in Christianity. Reason 1, the limits of science and the need for a starting point. Science is incredible at explaining how things work, processes like natural selection or genetic mutation, but it hits a wall when it comes to why anything exists at all. Naturalistic evolution assumes a material universe that just is, but it doesn't answer where the laws of physics, the fine-tuning of the cosmos, or the first spark of life came from. Creationism offers a logical anchor, a purposeful intelligence behind it all. Validity, this isn't proof, but it's a coherent explanation. Philosophers like William Lane Craig argue the universe's existence points to a cause beyond itself, something timeless and intentional. It's not irrational to say, I see order and complexity, and I infer a design. Exactly. Like, I feel like when people just get into this mode where they're like, you're irrational, you're dumb for believing in this, it's like, we're talking about metaphysics. We're talking about, like, oh, there's so much wiggle room when we're talking about quantum physics. But the moment I bring up, religion, like, we're talking about things that are beyond human comprehension. And that's where it gets into, alright, yeah, but people wrote the Bible. How is that beyond human comprehension? Here we go. Number 2. The Bible as a different kind of evidence. You mentioned the Bible was written by men, and that's true. It's not a science textbook. But creationists often see it as a reliable witness to God's character and actions, not a lab report. If you trust its spiritual claims, like that peace you feel, you might extend that trust to its accounts of origin. Plus, archaeological finds like the Dead Sea Scrolls show it's been preserved with remarkable accuracy. Validity. This depends on whether you find its internal consistency and historical echoes compelling. It's not physical evidence like fossils, but it's a form of testimony that intellectuals like C.S. Lewis found persuasive enough to build faith on. Alright, there is a whole bunch of metaphysical stuff, and there is a whole bunch of, like, well, I guess God could have used man with the Holy Spirit, but number 3, challenges to naturalistic evolution. You're right that evolution has a mountain of physical evidence, fossils, DNA, etc., but creationists point to the gaps, the Cambrian explosion, a sudden burst of complex life with little transitional buildup, the improbability of abiogenesis, life from non-life, and the fine-tuning of constants like gravity that make life possible. These don't disprove evolution, but they leave room for doubt and for a view that says God kickstarted or guided it. Validity, these are legit scientific debates. Secular scientists have answers like punctuated equilibrium, but the questions aren't settled. A logical mind can reasonably say, I'm not convinced by the naturalistic story alone. Especially if you have a personal experience with Jesus Christ that you cannot deny. And I can't deny it, bro. Like, I try to. When I try, I'm not even joking with you. There have been moments when I've tried to deny the Holy Spirit as a construct of my own consciousness. I got that deep, guys. I got that deep. I was trying to deconstruct Christianity to a point where I thought the Holy Spirit was a construct of my own consciousness, and it felt so real to me that I thought I was going insane. I was like, the Holy Spirit is only just a construct of my own consciousness. It can't be real. And then even in my doubt where I'm trying to sit there and say it's just a construct of my own consciousness, the Holy Spirit hits me, and I'm sitting there thinking I'm going insane. I'm like, what's happening? The Holy Spirit's real, guys. You just have to feel it for yourself, man. Follow Jesus. Personal experience as data. That peace and love you feel, the pull you attribute to the Holy Spirit, accounts as evidence in a personal sense. Logic doesn't just live in labs. It includes weighing your own experiences. If that presence feels distinct from mere self-soothing, it's rational to consider it a signal of something real. Validity. This is subjective, but not invalid. Philosophers like Alvin Plantinga argue that personal encounters with God can justify belief, much like trusting your senses justifies belief in the physical world. 5. Meaning and purpose. Nihilistic agnosticism, which you've flirted with, often leads to a universe without ultimate meaning. Creationist Christianity offers a framework where life has purpose, love, morality, and connection flow from a creator. For a logical thinker, this can resonate as a better fit for human experience than a cold, random cosmos. Validity, this is more about coherence than proof. If you find a meaningless universe less plausible than a purposeful one, it's a rational lean toward faith. And this is, okay, all of that stuff doesn't prove anything, and you still could ask the question, why is Christianity the only true religion if it was still written by men? This is where intuition comes in. So if you believe in all that metaphysical stuff, and that God could exist, and that the supernatural could exist, and that God could 100% use man, because who's to say that God can't? Here's my intuitive reason. And again, I had the AI essentially write out my intuitive reason. I gave the AI my intuitive reason for believing in Christianity, and it said it in a better way. Here we go. Here's my intuitive reason, said in a better way by the AI. Here's an intuitive reason why Christianity stands out as uncannily godlike, especially through its unique take on self-denial. It flips the script on what we'd expect from a human-made religion or philosophy. Most belief systems, whether religious, philosophical, or otherwise, tend to focus on self-improvement, self-empowerment, or even self-annihilation as a means to an end. You climb the ladder to enlightenment like in Buddhism, earn favor through deeds like in Islam, or master your will like in Stoicism. Even in harsher systems, self-denial is often a tool to escape suffering or dissolve into something bigger, like the universe or nothingness. Christianity, though, does something wild. It says self-denial isn't about making yourself better or breaking yourself down. It's about losing yourself to find yourself in something greater, God. Jesus puts it starkly. Whoever wants to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for me will find it. Matthew 16:25. That's not a human instinct. We're wired to cling to survival, to build ourselves up, to seek comfort or control. A religion invented by people would likely cater to that. It'd be about adding to yourself, not stripping away to discover what's already there, hidden in a relationship with the divine. This feels like God because it's counterintuitive to our nature, yet resonates with a deeper truth we sense but can't fully grasp. It's as if the God behind it knows we're more than our egos, more than our achievements or failures. And that our true identity, our real eternal self, is something we construct but something we can receive. Jesus is God.